Hi, I'm the Scrub, and you're here for one reason. Look, I have a soft spot for this dungeon because this is actually one of my favourite dungeons in the entire game. It has a great mix of complexity of mechanics along with difficulty of mob pulls, extra dots for healers, surprise adds. This dungeon has a lot and I love going through it. So it's time to destroy it in the fastest way possible. Time to learn about the Lost City of Amdapor. Simplified. When you begin, turn right and head down the stairs. Make your way through the ruins, pulling everything until you reach the top of the next set of stairs. Stop here and kill everything. Then continue down the stairs around to the right until a mold colony spawns in with a couple of hectides and tainted molds. These molds will give you poison stacks, so healers be ready with a sooner and extra heals. Once the mold colony is defeated, the door will open to continue the dungeon. Occasionally, a gremlin will target a player in the party and hit them with the debuff Misery. This debuff cannot be assumed. To remove this debuff, you need to target this person and use the Comfort emote. This can be done via the emote list or by typing the emote in chat. Yeah, A Realm Reborn mechanics weird back in the day. After you go through the open door, proceed down the stairs and go through the ruins, pulling everything along the way until you reach a closed door. Kill everything. Also, ignore the treasure coffers. These coffers have about a 50% chance that they can spawn into mimics, which can really smack you around, so we don't touch them to avoid them. First boss time. The boss will turn to a random player and target them with a prey marker and a tether. This prey marker is passable to another player by running through them. The boss will also cast Moldy Phlegm, which leaves a hairy puddle on the ground. It will give you the debuff Pollen if you stand in it. After this, you should eat the person who has the prey tether. From here, the mouth on his stomach will become targetable. If you don't get this down, the person in the mouth will die. After you defeat the mouth, the player will be spat back out. After this, he does a room wide, which will inflict everyone with an assunerable poison debuff. The boss will continue eating players until it's defeated. After you defeat the boss, make your way through the ruins until you reach the mold colony. Again, poison debuffs and extra heals. After the door opens, make your way down picking up the flies, making sure to pull them out of the orange. That orange is not only a pollen debuff for you, it is also a damage up for them. Pick up the extra 3 enemies outside the door. Kill everything and ignore the treasure coffers. After going through the door, make sure you get everything out of the orange to kill it easier and destroy the mold colony. Second boss time. You'll see the boss flying above the arena. When you kill the ad, it will spit in a small cone of AoE in front of it as it dies. This will give you a stack of scale flakes. This buff not only brings the boss down to you so you can attack it, but it also increases damage taken. The boss's aggro is related to who has the buff or who has the most stacks of the buff, so it's important that the tank has the buff or the most stacks. Now, the buff only lasts for 45 seconds, so you'll have to make sure you top up the buff by killing extra ads. The ads are also passive, so you don't need to grab all of them as they spawn in. Just grab them when you feel it's necessary to top up your buff. The boss will give out conal and straight line AoEs and leave green poison puddles on the ground that will grow larger unexpectedly. The ads just give out random conal AoEs. Once the boss dies, everything else in the fight will disappear. After defeating the boss, head through to the next area. You'll see there is a void center in the middle of the room that is attached to mage stones. These stones are giving the void center a regen stack. Destroy the stones first to make the void center easy to get down. After everything is defeated, a bridge will appear for you to continue down the path. You will need to repeat the process, except this time there are 4 mage stones instead of 2. After everything is defeated, a bridge will appear to the final boss area. When you pull the boss, you will see 8 doors spawn around the edge of the arena with colors that will briefly appear above each of them. There are 4 pairs of colors: red, yellow, green, and blue. By using the signs provided for us, we're able to mark the doors that have the same colors. I normally use the same colors with the signs available, replacing green with purple. Now, they won't be up for long, but you have a chance to get markers on at least 1 or 2 doors. Diabolus has a cleaving auto attack, so don't stand with the tank. When Diabolus targets you with crosshairs, he will turn to you and cast Graviball. This will place a red orb on the floor that periodically explodes and gives you the heavy debuff if you get hit by it. Ultimate Terror is a large donut AoE, so be very close or very far away from Diabolus when it goes off. Nightmare just puts you to sleep for a few seconds, so make sure you're close to Diabolus just in case he decides to do an Ultimate Terror right afterwards. Night Terror is an AoE below a player, just move out of the orange to avoid it. Diabolus will give himself a shield which grants him resistance to stuns. From here, he will move to the northwest side of the platform and cast Ruinous Omen. This is where we will need to open up 2 doors of the same color, which was why we marked the doors of the same color at the start of the fight. Now, it's best to open the doors when Diabolus is about halfway through his cast. If you've opened the doors at the correct time, you will travel in another dimension between the doors, which means the attack will miss you. After you emerge from the door, you'll be inflicted with the debuff Diabolic Curse, which increases your damage taken. If you don't open the doors in time, open them too early, or get the door colors wrong, you'll be hit by the Ruinous Omen, which will give you 3 stacks of Diabolic Curse and hits like a freaking truck. So make sure you open the doors at the correct time. Diabolus will repeat mechanics until it's defeated. Congratulations, you have beaten the Lost City of Amdapor. My name is the Scrub. Thank you for watching.